Hi guys, right, hello, another video that I'm just going to do for you, a little review if you will again. Recently the shoes that I've been wearing for fishing, boots, whatever you want to call it, because I don't wear wellies, so I prefer like a walking boot or a waterproof boot, decided to give up the ghost. They were 4 or 5 years old, and they just leaked like a sieve. I ended up walking around like I had buckets on my feet and decided, let's get some new ones for the time being. So what I did basically was go online and look at what's about, and I'm not someone who's going to buy expensive boots for fishing and things like that, because I just don't warrant it, because in the summer I'll just wear normal trainers and shoes, because a lot of my fishing is done on commercials. But in the winter time, quite a lot of those fisheries are muddy, it rains, you're going to get dirty, so I want something just for that to keep me through till the warmer and drier months. So I went online, looked at a few companies, and in fairness, I've bought before a cheap brand of clothing called Diem, spelled D-I-E-M. I think it comes from the Latin carpe diem, seize the day. But what it is they do cheap budget things. They even do rods, reels, things like that, really cheap price. And they're great for getting you into fishing, I suppose. They're great as the starter kits and things like that. But the clothing, I'm not too, well, let's say I'm impressed with it rather than not impressed with it. I mean, the t-shirts that they've got, great. They're a good t-shirt. The tracky bottoms they've got, they're a tracky bottom. They're good. They're warm. They've got pockets. It fits things in. They seal well around the legs. The cords are good. I've had them for 2 years more. Fine, they're not ripped, they're not holy. I've worn them to death. They haven't even bleached in the sun. My Drennan ones have, in fairness, but these haven't. So I found their boots, and they do 3 types of boot. They do a big long-legged boot. It goes halfway up your fucking leg, which wasn't my kind of thing, but they were about 50 quid. Then they do like a high-top boot, if you will, or a normal walking boot, which, yeah, great, that could be a summer boot if you need one, or even for me, I don't know yet. Could be on the wish list. And then they do this mid-range one, which is like a half welly, half boot. And I have them here, and I will show you what they look like and some of the features of them. Now that is the boot, okay? As you can see, the bottom of it, from the sole right the way up and around up to here, is rubber. So that is totally waterproof. That's like a welly. So all this here, all the way around, is just rubber. And that is going to keep you dry when you're walking through long grass, wet grass and mud. Simple as. Perfect. Not going to get wet feet. Now, I have worn these. I've put them back in the box and cleaned them up so that I could do this. And they're comfy. Very comfy. Now, I'm an 11.5 in my shoe size. I say 11.5 because in Europe size I'm a 46. And in some shops, 46 is a 12, in some it's an 11, so I say 11.5. These are an 11.46, that's what the class does, and they fit perfect. They're not too tight, and they're not loose and wobbly. So their sizings, for me, personally, perfect. They're very good, very accurate. Inside is fleece lined. It's like a thermal fleece lining inside, just like you get on a jacket. Very cozy, very warm, and if you put on a nice pair of woolly socks or something as well, you ain't going to get cold toes. And we all know when you're fishing, cold toes is a death, because once your toes start getting cold, your body starts getting cold, and you sat there and your back and you can't watch anything properly, you can't concentrate, you can't feed, you can't feel your hook, you can't put a maggot on, and you may as well just pack up and go home, because it's a nightmare. So warm toes, good boots. Other than that, the top half, all round up here and everything, it's synthetics, and I'd say I'm almost like a Gore-Texy type material, but it's not Gore-Tex. It just says textiles and synthetics on the box. That's what it says. But it's waterproof. It's reinforced stitched around with the rubber, double stitched, and even all the green where it's stitched into this Gore-Texy material, waterproof material, that's all double stitched and reinforced. So they're built fairly hardy. Now how long they're going to last, I don't know. But for 32 quid, I'm not going to argue if they only last 6 months. That's fine by me. And I paid that on Amazon. On Sports Direct at the moment, you can pick these up for 22 quid or 24 quid. That's a bargain for a pair of boots that you may only need to wear a dozen times in the winter for going fishing. Take them off, wash them, put them in your wardrobe. There again for next year for a cheap budget price. And that is cheap. I don't care what anyone says that. That's a bargain price. And they are, like I say, they're fairly well made for what they are. They're not going to win any awards. I'm sure they're not going to beat the likes of Witchwoods and Map and things like that, but I don't see anything wrong with them so far. The other thing is the eyelets, if you will, where your laces go through. They're all fairly solid studding, if you will. So it's like studded into the material, and then it's just an eyelet around, and then of course at the top, this top one, I've got that side in it, yeah. They are the wraparounds to grip, and you can pull them in quite tight onto your legs if you've got thin ankles and that. These are grip. If you've got wider ankles, it'll expand, you know, you can really loosen them off. My ankles to my calf is quite large really for what I am, due to so many years football and cycling and rugby. But yeah, if you want a budget pair of boots, lads, to get you through these winter months at a cheaper price, Diem. Like I say, there's the make, there's the name, if you want to see it. Diem. Comes in a box, all nicely packaged, all well and wrapped up. They've got cardboard in them to hold the shape as well, so they're not going to be creased or rolled over or anything like that. And these ones are called the Lite Tech Boot. Lite spelled L-I-T-E, boot. Like I say, they do another one, it's a longer one. Not my style, not my cup of tea, unless you're into some weird stuff. And the other boot, brown one, that, like I say, looks like a nice summer shoe really to me. It really does. I think that could be next on the list. If these ones perform as well as they feel like they're going to for a while, top job. So yeah, I just thought I'd let you in on that little gem, the Diem Lite Tech Boot for your winter toto warmer. Keep the totos warm. So there you go. Thanking you, and tight lines.